Good morning, everyone. My name is Kevin Rakestraw, and along with my teammates Jalen Smith and Sean Reed, we'll be presenting to you our case study on NXP semiconductors. Let me start off by covering who NXP is, what they make, and what NXP means to the semiconductor business. And lastly, one issue that hits close home for us here in Arizona. So let's get started. So first, who is NXP? They're younger than you think. Their engineering dates back to 1953 at the Dutch company Philips. But NXP became an independent company in 2006. The name even stands for Next Experience. A couple of milestones. They went public on the NASDAQ in 2010, and in 2015, they made the biggest move in their history, merging with Freescale for about $40 billion. That deal is a huge reason they're so dominant in car chips today. They joined the S&P 500 in 2021, and they're headquartered in the Netherlands. And last year, they did about $12.3 billion in revenue. Now, what do they make? NXP designs the brains and secure connections that go inside the physical products. Not the flashy chips like the processor in your laptop, but the embedded chips that make cars, payment systems, and smart devices work. Their number one market by far is automotive, with driver assist systems, radar, and secure keyless entry. Beyond cars, they're big in industrial and IoT, which is Internet of Things, secure identification, and 5G mobile networks. Fun fact, NXP invented the tap to pay NFC chip that's in your credit cards and passports. Here's the key thing. For NXP semiconductors, aren't part of the business, they are the business. They design the chips and make a lot of them in their own factories, using what's called a fab-lite model, which means they balance their own plants with outside partners like TSMC, so they never experience capacity limitations. And here's why that matters. The chip is the one part that must show up on time, or the entire assembly line stops. We exactly saw that during the COVID years of 2021 and 2022 chip shortage. When car plants shut down all over the world, NXP was right in the middle of it as the top automotive supplier. Last slide for me before passing on to my teammates. This part I find the most interesting and builds up curiosity because it's happening in our own backyard. The AI boom is driving chip demand way up, with NXP's data center revenue alone projected to double from 200 million to 500 million in just 1 year. But the data centers driving that demand put real strain on local resources like power and especially water. And this matters right here in Arizona. 2/3 of the data centers built since 2022 are in water-stressed areas like southern Arizona and the Colorado River Basin. For example, think of the Meta Mesa Data Center or EdgeCore Data Center campus located in Phoenix. But good news though. Communities are responding with new utility rules. so households don't get stuck with the higher bills. Recycled water, better cooling systems, and more oversight on water usage. So, the same chips powering AI come with trade offs. We must plan for them. And with that, I'll hand it over to Jalen Smith. Thank you.
So, what do semiconductors have to do with this company? For NXP, semiconductors are their main source of business per se. They're the core gadgets for the business. What happens is NXP they put chips in things like our phones, our computers, mobile payments, and wireless communications, and also a lot more. But for NXP, making semiconductors is the foundation for their business, and that's how they make their money. Producing these chips that are put in our technology devices. Some products include microcontrollers, application processors, automotive chips, NFC and RFID chips, wireless connectivity chips, security and authentication chips, and radio frequency devices. What is the company most widely known for currently in the news? So I also thought this was really, really cool. This is probably my favorite thing learning about in this project. But right now, the company is currently trending for trying to make automotive semiconductor technology into physical AI, which is basically through robots, factories, and vehicles. Basically, the physical AI, they will, make improvements through physical things. So I thought that was kind of cool. Just like maybe like let's say there's an air conditioner, they'll the physical AI will work on it and they'll work to see what's wrong with the air conditioner instead of a human working on it. So it's kind of scary, for jobs and stuff, but I thought it was really cool. They'll influence real world decision making. For physical AI allows machines to scan information from sensors and instantly respond to changing automation or changing conditions. Oh, sorry. My automotive applications, NXP will use AI in things such as driver assistance, features and collision avoidance, and then industrial automation. Factories will use physical AIs to control their robots. What type of jobs are available? Variety of jobs. So for research and development, you have a hardware engineer, software engineer, and an embedded systems engineer. For manufacturing, you have a semiconductor maintenance technician, a process engineer, an equipment technician. And for IT, an IT support specialist, a system administrator, and a cybersecurity analyst. What is the company's greatest strengths, challenge, and opportunity? So some of their strengths are automated. They're the automotive chip leader, strong customer relationships. They're very good with keeping their good customer relations, expertise in connectivity and security. Through Bluetooth and like phone, CarPlay, things like that. Challenges are reliance on automotive markets, so it matters how the cars are basically doing, exposure to China related risk, and strong industry competition. It's a very strong industry or a very competitive industry. And opportunities are software device defined vehicles, edge AI control, industrial automation expansion, and growing LLT demand.
When people think about national security, they often think about the military. But today, national security also means protecting our supply chains, transportation systems, communication networks, and critical infrastructure. Semiconductors are the foundation of all these technologies, which is why companies like NXP are so important. One example is autonomous trucking. Companies are developing AI systems that can help commercial vehicles make safer, faster decisions on the road. These trucks process information using onboard computers and sensors rather than relying on constant internet connection, allowing them to continue operating even in areas with poor cellular coverage. At the same time, cybersecurity remains a major concern. Protecting these vehicles from hacking or unauthorized access is just as important as improving their driving capabilities, the biggest threat being a malicious over-the-air update. Another area where semiconductors have national security implications is AI data centers. These facilities provide the computing power behind artificial intelligence, cloud services, and government and commercial applications. However, they also require enormous amounts of electricity and water. In Arizona, the rapid expansion of data centers places increasing demand on local resources. making sustainable planning an important issue alongside technological growth. This is where the CHIPS Act becomes relevant. The goal is to strengthen semiconductor manufacturing in the United States and reduce dependence on foreign suppliers for technologies that are essential to the economy, and national defense. Companies like NXP contribute by producing advanced chips for vehicles, industrial systems, secure communications, and AI applications. One interesting fact about NXP is that its technology is already used in millions of vehicles around the world. Many drivers may never recognize the company's name, but its chips help power radar systems, advanced driver assistance features, secure vehicle access, and in-vehicle networking. As transportation becomes more automated and connected, companies like NXP will play an even larger role in shaping the future of mobility. Our presentation examined semiconductors and its role in powering modern technology through automotive, industrial, and AI applications. We discussed how NXP's chips support innovations like autonomous driving and physical AI, while also exploring the demand for data centers and the challenges they create for Arizona's water and energy resources. Finally, we connected these topics to national security and the CHIPS Act, showing how domestic semiconductor production is critical for protecting supply chains, supporting the economy, and driving future technological innovation.